Hey everybody.
Hello. Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, so we are here with another Tuesday tutorial, and we've got another fun one today based on the beautiful starlet of Old Hollywood. So I'm Amber. I will be taking your questions and your comments. So if you have any questions or anything you want to add as we go through, please put them in the comments. And hello already to our Tuesday squad who is here and ready to go. So thank you guys so much. And of course, we have the
Yes,
beautiful and
hello.
wonderful Janae. Hurrah!
Thanks. Thank you very much. Hi everybody. Happy Tuesday. So excited to be with you here today. As always, I just love Tuesday tutorials. I love getting together with you, Amber, and with all of you, our wonderful Tuesday squad, just to play around with makeup and chat and have fun and learn new things, hopefully, and try new things, hopefully. It's always a blast. And if you're new here, we welcome you. If you've been coming for weeks and weeks, welcome back. And either way, we're really glad you're here for our Lauren Bacall inspired eye look today, which should be really, really fun.
And what's fun about this is similar to the Audrey Hepburn one we did, we're also going to show some photos of Lauren Bacall, and we're going for something that's just inspired by her. You know, we're not trying to match her looks exactly because all these starlets were so unique and naturally beautiful in their own way. But we can capture some of their tricks or some of their types of techniques that they use and make our own kind of starlet inspired look. But yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And like Amber mentioned, we did an Audrey Hepburn inspired eye look recently. And what I love about doing Lauren Bacall today is that both Audrey and Lauren are total babes, right? They're just so beautiful, gorgeous eyes, known for their gorgeous eyes, but their eyes couldn't be more different. So that really
Mhm.
goes to show that there isn't one right eye type. Um, Audrey had huge lid space and really thick eyebrows, while Lauren Bacall had thin, pointed eyebrows and she has extremely hooded eyes. So I love that. So we're really, if you have hooded eyes, like we're going to embrace that today and we're really going to use it to our advantage to get that sultry look that Lauren Bacall was known for with her whoops, I just kicked the camera a little bit. Sorry guys. Hopefully that's still in the
Okay.
right spot. I just
No,
realized
you're
I
so
moved my
good.
leg and then I was like, okay.
Just get too
Anyway,
excited.
yes,
I get it.
I know. I am really excited. I am. I love it. And I just love how during that time, I feel like we were starting to, during, I should say like the 40s. So Lauren Bacall first got her leading lady first role in the 40s. And she was only 19 at the time, I believe. So she
Yeah.
was super young, but obviously talented enough to break out and get a leading part in a film. And we came from, the 20s and the 30s, which had a very stylized look for Hollywood icons that were very pouty baby is what I called it once before when we were doing Louise
Yeah.
Brooks. Very like big doll like features, eyes, and very like, oh, innocence, even though
Hmm.
the flapper woman of the 20s and even the more like glamorous woman of the 30s, her personality wasn't innocence, but her look had a bit of innocence to it. So there was something there to
Hmm.
that. And then we start getting into the 40s and we really start leaning into this sultry, femme fatale, entrancing woman look that Lauren Bacall just totally is epitomizes that look. She's someone who, with her beautiful eyes, can lure you in, and then you don't mind being lured in by her, and you don't know if you want to trust her or not. She might steal your heart, she might steal your wallet, who knows, right? Like those were the
Yeah.
kind of characters that she played, and she was just fabulous. So I would love to hear from you also. What are some of your favorite Lauren Bacall films? What are some of your favorite, roles that she has done? And what I think is also really interesting is that Lauren Bacall had like a look, one look. We talked
Hmm.
about Audrey, how through the decades it changed and she would wear different kinds of, hair, different kinds of eye makeup or lip makeup, depending on the decade to really be with the times and the height of fashion and really set those trends. Where Lauren Bacall, she was famous for decades and decades, but even into her older age, her eye makeup didn't really change. Her lip shape didn't really change. She may have worn a different color, but her makeup pretty much stayed the same, and even her hairstyle barely changed. So she found what worked for her and she stuck with it. So, you know, we see that both ways. Sometimes it really depends. So that's kind of fun. Anyway, I'm going to jump in and start showing you some of the pictures that I found that I really like of Lauren Bacall. So if we can get that first picture up, I
Okay, here we
just want to
go.
show you this classic headshot of Lauren Bacall. It's perfect because here we're getting that, you know, the smolder, the Lauren smolder, right? Where we see
Yeah.
how she always, almost always, is looking up at you, right? Like she's like, like this. Sometimes even really dramatically in her pictures, her chin is
Yeah.
fully dipped and she's looking up at you. And that was to really accentuate those hooded eyes that she had. And her eye color was really light. So when she was doing black and white films, I think that that made her eyes all the more striking. That she just has like icy blue eyes. Really
Yeah.
just was so, the contrast was beautiful. And what's also interesting is that in the 40s, we get a lot of straight lines and angles, especially in fashion. Women wearing like, you know, straight shoulders and straight necklines and things like that. And so we see that a little bit in her look with, there's a bit of harshness, but then it's also softened out. Her hair is very soft. And the, you know, the curls and the waves are very soft. So it's like a balance between harsh and soft, which I think
Mhm.
really makes sense for the characters that she played as well. Looking at
Yeah.
our next picture, we get one in color, so we can kind of get a better look at the colors that she may have used in her makeup. Now, I have to say, I'm not sure if this picture it was taken in color originally or if it was colorized after the fact, but just looking at it, to me, it looks like it's originally a color photograph.
Yeah.
But I can't be sure. But hoping that it is, we get an idea of the colors of eyeshadows that she wore. And they're not very bright, they're not very colorful. But something I do want to really point out is that in this angle, we can see how angular that eyebrow is, and we can see that she's actually not wearing eyeliner. We don't have a line of eyeliner. There's no wing, there's no like straight black line. Everything's really blended out. So the color of shadow she has is almost like an orange, like a sort of like peachy orange, close to her skin tone color for the majority of the
Mhm.
eye. And then right above that lash line is like a brown gray kind of almost smoked out, right? Like we did a smoky eye
Yeah.
look a while back. It's a very similar technique and it's really concentrated. The darkest parts are on the lid, which is usually the opposite of what I do. So I'm excited to try this. And then underneath the eye, you practically have nothing. You've got a little bit of brown, dark brown in the corner, but that's
Mhm.
pretty much it. Now, it was so hard to find a picture of the tops of Lauren Bacall's eyes because she's always doing this when she's looking at the camera. Um,
Mhm.
but I found one, and it's of her smoking a cigarette. I think it's from a movie that she was in, but I'm not sure which one. But that was the only one I could find was where she's like, you know, has a cigarette and she's looking down. So this is also in black and white, but you can kind of see the shape of her eye makeup, the shape of, and you can tell there's not a liner, there's not a cut crease. No, it's very
Yeah.
blended. It's very natural. It's
Mhm.
so different from, you know, Audrey, which you know, we did a little while ago. So it's going to be really fun to do this. And again, you see that pointed brow that is so cool, so cute, so
Yeah.
cool. Just really, I think, makes the look. So without further ado, I think we should jump in, unless there's anything, Amber, that you would like to bring up happening in the comment section today.
Not much. I mean, people love your lips already. They say you like match them perfectly uh, to
Oh,
some
thank
of those
you.
pictures already. So everybody loves your lip shape.
Thanks.
And if you guys
Yay,
want,
thanks.
so Janae didn't use the exact same colors, but she used a similar technique we used in the Lips Like Marilyn video, where you can see it's a little bit darker in the line and in the corners and lighter in the center. So if you want to head back to that, you can check that out. And you could see in that, especially that color picture, that Lauren Bacall's makeup artist did do a similar kind of thing just to give that added dimension. So I just always think
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny because we never think of in the 40s women like contouring their faces. But in movies, like they did contour their lips, or sometimes they did, have contour. She didn't need contour
Absolutely.
on her face. She had very natural, like
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
cheekbones.
Oh,
But yeah,
totally. Very,
so
very structured.
absolutely. So yeah, I think we're ready to get started. People, but most of the comments are just your hair is gorgeous, Lauren Bacall's hair was gorgeous, and your lips already look perfect. So those are the biggest comments so
Thanks,
far.
you guys. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I tried. I really tried. To do my hair, I actually found on Pinterest of all places, I found like a copy of an old book or magazine or something that had a picture of how Lauren Bacall would set her hair. And then I did that. I did that same set, and my hair is not cut the same way. I don't have like a horseshoe cut like she would have had back then. And my hair is obviously a lot longer because she had kind of like a little bob going on.
Mhm.
But I still set it in the same pattern, and I think it kind of worked. And it
Yeah.
actually laid pretty nice with just the set too. So I was happy about that. Yeah, and I did try to really get that Lauren lip shape, and like Amber said, I used three different lip colors in order to get this look today to really give the fullness of the bottom lip and get that nice like contoured shape going on. So thank you very much. So we are going to start with the brows, and I'm going to be using brown cake and the liner pencil from, or pencil, what am I saying? Liner brush from the
Brush, yeah.
Mascara Brush Set. And so, okay, so my brows have nothing in them. I went over them with a little bit of foundation, I guess. Okay, I'm going to really lean into the thin side of the brow, right? I'm not going to overline my brows, anything like that. I'm going to keep them as thin as possible. So if you already have thin brows, either naturally or keep them that way, then this is going to work great for you. The only thing we're really going to accentuate is the arch. I'm going to start with the arch. I'm going to find where my arch is and just go slightly above to start
Because
there.
the
So,
arch in her brows is really extreme, honestly. I mean, it's really defined and it looks
yeah.
so beautiful on her, but I kind of had to relook at those pictures and think like, wow, that's like a very super, super arched look that she had going
It
on. It's really
is.
cool. And
Yeah.
even
And
just that
I
little
think
tiny
it's
bit,
a
Janae, that looks
big,
so different. Sorry.
it's so different, right? I just went slightly above where my natural arch is, which I actually don't have much of a natural arch. If I kind of like do this with my brows, like I'm like, what? If I make that face, then I can
Hmm.
see where they want to go and then I can kind of find it. But I don't have
That's
much of
funny.
a natural arch, and I am just going slightly above. Like it looks dramatic at the moment, but I'll fill it in, and starting there will help us see the highest point to make sure that we don't go any higher than that when we do the rest of our brows.
And it's
Guys,
good
I'm
to
just really, really
remember. Mhm.
excited about this look. Sorry,
Yeah.
Amber.
Oh no. There's a little bit of a delay between Janae and I, so we
I think
usually
so.
aren't trying to talk over each other. There's just a little tiny delay. But we had To Have and Have Not people listed as their favorite. That was her first film. It is so funny to think she was only 19 in that movie because she just seems so, mature and sultry and
Yeah,
everything. But she was 19 years old only, and that was her first film ever because she was a
I
model
know.
before then. So just definitely naturally talented in that way. And
Amber,
with
what do you
these,
think?
as you're doing, Mhm.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Continue with what you're saying, and then I'll ask my question.
And then I'll ask, okay. I just wanted to say that sometimes when you're playing around with your brow shape, as we found when you're doing the Audrey one, is it can feel a little funny at first. Like I know almost any time I do my brows, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so dark or that's so whatever. And like just be patient, keep working it in, do it. And once you have everything all together, trust that it'll all kind of blend in. Or if it doesn't, then you can go back and change it. But go like a little bit bolder than you might think, especially because her shape is so dramatic when you're trying it out.
Yes,
Yes, what
very good
what
advice.
was your question?
So my question was, Oh my gosh, what was my question? No, I remember. What do you think it was that made her come across so mature in that film, even though she was so young? Just what do you think it was that gave her that air of sophistication and of age, I guess?
I think a lot of it to me is a lot of it is her poise and everything is very assured. But also her voice. She just always had a deep voice. And with that, and, as a model, she did know how to pose and how to hold herself, with confidence. And I think maybe the combination of that does it. Also, I tend to, it's very silly, but lots of times in older films, because they're older, I assume that everybody in the movie is older than they are, which doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
But, I'm like, oh, older people were around in the 40s, so everyone here is older than they seem. Doesn't make sense. That's just my brain being silly, but that's kind of what I think.
Yeah,
What do
no,
you think is so appealing about her performances?
I was gonna say the same thing. I think poise for sure is the word that comes to mind. And yeah, that deep voice, a deeper voice usually comes across as maturity. Um, and I do think that played a part in it. And it's interesting because I feel like often actors, actresses, they usually play younger than they are, not older than they
Yeah.
are. That's rare that you see it the other way around. And the other person I can think of who I know like has played older than she was is Keira Knightley. And I
Oh,
can kind of draw some comparisons between the two of them in terms of poise, the tone of voice, and that kind of
oh,
the like I don't know the facial expressions that both of those actresses have in their performances. Just something in their eyes makes it feel like they've seen a lot in life. I don't know how to explain it, but there
yeah,
there
no.
is just sort of a maturity to them, and I know she's another one who like for instance when she played the bride in Love Actually, I think she's like 16, which is really
Oh,
kind of
wow.
weird.
I didn't know that.
It's
Oh my
really
gosh.
bizarre. Yeah, and in Pirates of the Caribbean too, she was like, I mean, check me on this, but I think she was like 17,
How
18 years old
see?
in
Oh
Pirates of
my
the
gosh,
Caribbean.
that's true. Wow.
I
I did
know.
not know that. Yeah, I was also thinking of Scarlett Johansson was kind of similar when she first started because she was a child
Oh
actress for a little
yeah.
while. Then she played older in Lost in Translation, not drastically
Hmm.
older, but a little bit. Very different style of look. And when oh
So I've
yeah,
got one brow
oh my
done.
God, yay, beautiful! And that looks so good. I mean,
I
like it really changes the shape of. I mean, that looks good. It like
yeah.
matches that arched feel. And
I
then
hope
with
it looks
everything
good.
else, I think it'll really.
I hope it's not too pointy. I'm wondering if I need to kind of thicken it out down here. Let me take a look at
Hmm,
my photo again and
yeah.
see if I like this. Yeah, I think I will just because the outside of her brow is like pencil thin. Mine is a little bit thicker
Mm,
just because I naturally have more hair there. So in comparison, the inside of the brow is thicker. So, I'm just looking back and forth from my phone at
oh,
one of the
sure.
reference pictures, but like I do think it's not quite the same shape as hers, but it'll work for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in after I do the second one. I'm going to go back in with some concealer and see if I
Oh, there
can't
you
help
go.
manipulate the shape.
That's
The
and
magic of
that's and
laser
with a
concealer.
lot of stars at the time had to shave their brows or shave pieces of their brows. So it's very possible that Lauren Bacall maybe had to shave the ends of her brows at certain parts of her career to get that shape. Or it
Yeah,
just
they're
could have
so
naturally been
thin.
that way. So yeah, so Keira Knightley was 18 when she did Pirates of the Caribbean and Love Actually, because
There
Keira
you go.
Knightley is the same age as me. We look exactly the same, me and Keira Knightley. You'd go, am I looking in a mirror? Am I looking at twins? I think, am I looking in a mirror when I see Keira Knightley? Just kidding if you can't tell. I look 1,000 years older than Keira Knightley.
Are we supposed to
But
look
yeah, I
like
had
twins with
no
the
idea
people who
she
are the
was.
same age of us?
Yep, that's the rule. It's not even that you
Okay,
look the same
okay.
age, it's that you look identical. So
Identical. Got it. Got it.
yeah, that's the rule. I don't know. I don't make it up. I did make it up. Let's see. But I didn't realize she was that young in those movies. Gosh, that's so funny. But yeah, yay. I was just looking back at some of our comments. Lovely. And yes, we had Sarah recommended a podcast called You Must Remember This. They talk about Bogey and Bacall, because Lauren Bacall was very famously married to Humphrey Bogart until he died. And, their love affair was very legendary. And it's also about Lauren Bacall outside of that as well. But anyway, You Must Remember This. It's on iTunes. You can just Google it. It's a very, very, very good one to watch. Keira
Actually,
Knightley
tomorrow
talks. That's not the
is
point of this.
tomorrow, I believe. Today is National Coffee Day, so I hope you've celebrated
Yes.
with a cup of Joe. And tomorrow is National Podcast Day. So
Oh, yay!
tomorrow is might be a great day to check that podcast out or check out our podcast in case you
Yes.
haven't. Did you know, Besame, we have a podcast and it is awesome. Gabriella is on the podcast and she interviews makeup artists, people in the makeup industry, people in the film industry doing makeup, just super, super interesting friends of Gabriella's who have amazing stories to share and
Yeah.
all about everything you want to know about makeup, about stars. It's so fascinating and it's really cool. So lots of episodes. What was like the most recent episode, Amber?
Our last one was with Glenn Allen, he's a makeup artist for film and TV. He's a drag artist. He teaches drag makeup. He's one of the only people with like an academy about just drag makeup. He does that as well, so you can hear all about him. And we've had, yeah, Erin Kruger McCash, who does the Ryan Murphy, well, many things, but also the Ryan Murphy productions, where you might see Besame sometimes. We had Leonard Maltin, the film critic, on. Um, all kinds, all kinds of really interesting people. And yeah, the makeup world is so fascinating behind the scenes, and we've got to speak to a lot of really really interesting people. But yeah, that's just the Classic Beauty with Besame podcast. It's on iTunes and all the places, Spotify, and you can also go to our website and blog if you want to get a shortcut to it there. But yes,
There
it's
you
very very
go.
fun.
Okay, I like my brows better now. I think I fixed them. So I just
Yay.
thickened it out under here on the bottom a little bit, and then I went back
Hmm.
over to make this appear more thin, and I just used a little bit of concealer and got really close to the hairs, going over just a little bit of them, just to really kind of bring it down into more of a thin taper, so I can get those
Yeah.
brows. I actually kind of like this brow
Yay.
shape. This is kind of fun. I feel different. But
Yeah.
I like it.
And yes, and someone had a comment of like they can't believe how yes, CM mentioned how you manipulate your brows each week is like watching a magic trick. And it really is so
Brows
cool.
really, they just change your face. They do. And I think part of it is that like right now I haven't had my brows done in I don't know how long. And so I've kind of just let them become a blob shape. Like they're not a real shape. They weren't shaped into anything on purpose. But it's great because then I can make them do whatever they can possibly do. And so I can sort of play with them and get them to go all kinds of different fun ways and change how my face looks based on that, which is so much fun. It's really, really fun. Makeup's amazing, you guys. I love it. All right. So I'm gonna get started with shadow. And for all of our shadow today, you can get it all with the Club Babalu palette. And I was so excited looking at that picture in color that I showed you of Lauren Bacall because when I saw that, I was like, oh, all those colors are all in the Club Babalu palette. We can do this. It's perfect. Perfect. I love it. So easy, so great. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about this palette too, is that these colors are so versatile and they seem really bold at first, but then you realize like, oh no, they're so wearable and you can do so many looks, modern and historical with them. So that's really fun. So I'm going to start with Ricardo Rose and the fluffy Besame brush. And I'm going to apply that almost entirely all the way over the eye, but not So like we don't want to get too high close to the brow. So I'm going to leave about that much space like where the brush would hit. Pretty much just no shadow here. Leave that. Actually, that's just where I put concealer a minute ago. And just but everywhere else, just gonna go ahead and get that going. Little circles. Do do do.
And it does, it's such a kind of wash of color, where there's almost there's not a real shape to it. It kind of just blends up almost to the brow bone, but not quite. It's really different than a lot of the other kind of starlet looks at the time.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I'm even gonna go closer toward the inside of my nose here with the color even to really make my eyes super deep set. Deep, deep.
Mm-hmm.
And just little
Because those kind
swirls,
of
little circles to
shadows
blend
on
it.
her, yeah, are what make all of that look work. That color
Yes,
is so interesting
yes.
because I feel like it looks different how you apply it. Like if you apply it lightly, it's one color. If you apply it dark, it's like it can look very orange, if you apply it a certain way, or it can look
Yeah,
just like that wash of peachy pink. It's so cool.
you're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. I think it can be worn many, many ways. We used it in our pumpkin spice look and we really packed that baby on there and made it super orange. But right now, like you would look at this and you wouldn't be like, that's orange eyeshadow. It
Yeah.
just looks really, really natural because I'm using this
Hmm.
little circles method to really work it in, blend it out. Yeah.
I was looking away for a moment because there's just a ton of sirens outside. Not like
I
on the
heard that.
street away, but just making sure nothing untoward is happening.
Yeah.
It looks like everything's okay. The fun of
That's LA
being
for
at
you.
home and in the studio. Yes, that's also LA. You're just gonna get some sirens.
Not that Amber's like deep in the heart of the city or anything like that, thank goodness, but
No.
it's still a city. It's still a city.
And yeah, let us know. We had a couple other everyone loved the just put your lips together and blow whistle for me scene from Lauren Bacall. Of course, as a top favorite, it is one
Yes.
of the most iconic scenes ever, I think. And also let us know because we love doing these, movie star inspired kinds of looks. So if there's somebody else you would like to see, we would love to hear about it and see about incorporating it later on.
Absolutely. Totally. Okay, so I did that. I did that color nice and blendy blendy as like Amber said a wash, just kind of really little circles to blend it out and bring I brought it in toward the nose as well. And then what I'm going to do next same brush, so just a quick shadow change really quick. Let me clear my brush off. I'm going to use this same brush and I'm going to go back in with Tropicana Taupe is the next color I'm going to use. So we're looking for something like a little more on the gray side compared to this warm orangey color that we just used, which is really looking more brown, like a warm brown when you kind of blend it out like this. But so
Yeah.
using Tropicana Taupe now and the same fluffy brush, I am going to go and I'm going to just keep it as close to the lash line as possible. Now this is a fluffy brush, so it's not going to be that close, and that's on purpose. And we don't want it to be packed on. We do want it to be blended out. Okay, so just yeah, I hope I explained that well, but you can kind of
Yeah.
see where I'm putting that, like that right there. There we go, all across there. It's not the whole lid. It's like the bottom half of the lid.
It's almost like a wide eyeliner in a way, but not so
Yeah, it
defined.
is. I've never done this before with an eye look. Like this pattern, this shape, this, the way these colors look together. I've never done it this way. And I'm so excited to see how it turns out on me because this may be a new go-to look for me.
Yeah. It is a little bit, it's different even than the kind of vintage stuff you think about because you do think of stuff being more heavy with eyeliner or, cat eye and winged liner and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And this one is so subtle
right.
yet different. And we had some fun recommendations for the future of like Rita Hayworth and young Judy Garland and Katharine Hepburn. Oh, Hedy Lamarr. Oh, fun. Also,
Oh,
Sarah
that'd be good.
Sarah suggested Elvira, which maybe we have to do in the
That's
future.
fun. Oh my
A
gosh,
whole
that would be
Elvira look would
fun.
be very fun.
That would be crazy. We may need more time for that one. It's a lot of makeup.
Yeah,
Um,
that is a lot of makeup.
so I hope you can see where I placed that and how, again, it's only about here. It's not up into the socket or anything, just the lower part of
Hmm.
the lid. And then even less lid space is I'm going to use the brush that comes with the palette, and I'm going to be using Band Leader Brown. And again, right on top of where I just put Tropicana Taupe, but trying to get it tighter to the lash line is what I'm going to do with this one. So again, she did not wear like a black line eyeliner situation, but she did something like this, really, like we said, kind of smoked out with just shadow effect. So it's like a layering of colors to get a dark line that isn't a straight, like actual harsh line,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
And it's kind of a cool
There we
variation on
go.
a smoky eye that's a little more subtle if you're in the mood for something like that.
Yeah. Then what I'm also going to do is go underneath the eye with the same color, same brush, but just in the corner, just in the outer corner right here.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we're not trying to make a wing, so you can go ahead and just connect it, but just kind of push that up into the lashes. And only like it's like the width of the brush itself right here is how much I put. I didn't go any farther than that. That's like maybe the last 25% of my eye over here. That's
Yeah.
it. Just do that. No more. No more than that. Okay, other eye. See how this is kind of layering up to look differently? Hopefully you can tell.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And just that little tiny bit under the eye in the corner too makes such a difference.
So funny, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's just kind of increasing the natural shadows, where you might have a little bit of shadow naturally on the corners of your eyes and just then exaggerating that with the color gives it a little extra.
Yeah.
Also, some people are saying they remind you, or you remind them of Gina Davis's character in A League of Their Own with this look today, which I think is kind of a
Oh,
compliment. She
oh,
was
that's fun. Thanks, guys.
And it is a little like that. I hadn't thought of that. It's Sarah. We are not criticizing your Elvira look at all. It would be a lot of fun. She
No,
said,
no,
in
no,
my
no, no.
defense, no, Elvira would be amazing. She's just, yeah, she's been around for so long and she's, yeah, based on kind of even previous vintage characters and all that. So, no, it would be amazing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and I will say, it's great to pick a character that was so much makeup because then it's like she doesn't age. You get to just put on all this makeup and do the same character for 30 years
That's
and
true.
it looks perfect.
Oh yeah. No, no, no criticism, but it is true,
No.
and I'm sure you know, she wears a lot of makeup, so that would be a very
Oh,
long
yeah.
Tuesday tutorial, longer than maybe the
Yeah.
time we have. But that is fun. That's so fun,
It's a
and I
fun
love it.
idea.
Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is just take a white pencil, or you can take a white shadow, a highlight, anything like that. Just make sure it's matte, not shimmer, and apply it to the areas we would normally apply our highlight, which is gonna be the inner corner and, oh, my pencil's a little bit dull. I probably should have sharpened it. Oh well, it's still working.
It's okay.
It's still working. Man, not really though. I kind of need a sharpener. Um, well, let me just explain it first, and then maybe I
Yeah.
can find a sharpener, or maybe I will omit this step altogether. But I'm going to put it in the inner corners. I'm going to put it right underneath the lashes for the rest of my eye where I didn't put the shadow. And then I'm also going to put it up here on the brow bone because we really want to bring this part out to get this Lauren Bacall look, right? Because that's what we see the light really reflect off of in those pictures that we looked at of her. That's the drama spot for her eyes. So we want to highlight that with the lighter color. And I believe that Nick, my husband, is looking for a sharpener for me, so that's good. Um, and if he finds one, great. If not, then I'll try my best without, hurting myself on a dull pencil. Although
Yeah.
actually, if he doesn't find one, I think I might have a shadow that might do the trick.
Oh, good.
So we'll see.
And this
Sorry,
is
that
a
was
great
kind of
look
a
to
weird
bust
face.
out all. No, it's okay. This is a great one to bust out all your like mattes because all of her stuff always does seem so like matte and smooth, you know. So not the
Mm-hmm.
shimmer,
Super matte.
not the time for shimmers, but we will see. But no, I think all of your faces
Do
are
we have a
fun.
sharpener? Maybe. Oh, good. Thank you. I make a lot of them. I sure do. I make a lot of weird faces. I've become increasingly aware of it as if I ever watch back the videos that we do here on Tuesday Tutorial. And sometimes I do because I don't get to read the comments now in the moment, just
Yeah.
Amber does. And then later I'm like, oh, I want to see what they said or who said that again. I want to see. So I'll go back and read them sometimes. And then I'll see the funny faces that I make. And I'm just like, boy, Janae, you really
Oh,
do a lot of facial expressions.
you always it's seeing yourself on video is always a treat, I'll say with a question mark, but you see all the funny things everybody does. I'm
It's
like, oh, I talk with my hands so
it's
much.
so
Who
true.
knew? Oh well.
Well, I'll go ahead and skip ahead to the next
Oh, good.
step because they don't necessarily have to be done in this order. And I'm just applying mascara with Black Cake and with the little mascara brush that comes in the Mascara Brush Set. And just doing that wiggle technique. And we are only putting mascara on the top lashes. Only, only, only. Don't put them on your bottom lashes. Don't do it. Not for this one.
And let's see, we had some questions about the newest Disney collection that's going to come out. So we there will be no clues until right before it comes out, and it's going to be the end of October. It's going to be late October. So we'll just have to wait. I know that seems like a long time, but Thursday is October already. So it's actually not too much of a wait. And there
Not too
will be
much.
more. There will be. Oh, good question. Janae, right now are you using black or brown cake?
Oh, I'm using black. So I used brown for the brows, but I'm using Black
Okay.
Cake for my lashes.
Oh, fun.
Yes. And also, her lashes were completely natural. You can tell in any photo you see of her, it did not look like she was wearing false lashes. Her lashes are
Yeah.
actually, compared to other starlets, they were kind of on the short side. So
Yeah.
that tells me even more that she just had natural lashes that she just put mascara on, and that did the trick. Actually, one of those pictures that we showed you, you can really see that. Actually, Nick, would you put that up again, the one that's in color? You can get a good sense of how her natural lashes were short and how they were just separated with mascara only.
And it's cool to see because she's kind of
Really
the
see that.
opposite of like an Instagram makeup person because she doesn't have all that lid space and she doesn't have big lashes and she's not using a million colors on her eyes. And it's still such
It's so
a
true.
beautiful look. And even in this picture here, we're showing, that's like you're seeing the most like possible of her eye there. And usually you even
Yeah,
saw
you really are.
like less lid space and stuff. But yeah, her lashes
Okay,
are
so
just
that's all
totally
the mascara
normal.
I'm gonna do. Totally natural, normal, and I love that. And she still has such sexy eyes. So don't think you have to pile on the falsies for a beautiful, sexy eye. Like you can be a babe and you can have your natural lashes, even if they're short, even with one coat of mascara, which is all I'm going to do today. And I did get myself a little sharpener. So yay! Gonna
Yay.
sharpen this pencil real quick. My bad for not being prepared. Sorry, guys. Um, it's so funny. It's this look is so opposite of what you would think that it is. No liner, no heavy lashes. Um, it's just so different. We don't
And
have
it's
any
really,
cut crease going on.
and the brows are kind of what make it the most unique to her. Everything else is very simple. And then those kind of just extra bold brows give it that beautiful Lauren Bacall type of look.
Yeah. So yeah, here we go. I put it right in the corners, and then like you can see, I went right underneath the eye there. And at first I was like, whoa, that's a lot. But really, when you look at pictures of her face, you see that it's really like bright down there underneath her eye, and you don't see any of her bottom lashes, which mine got a little bit of mascara on them just when I blinked. So going back over with this pencil kind of gets rid of that. And then lastly,
Oh.
like I said, we're just gonna go up here. Doo, doo, doo. And then this looks super crazy and harsh, and I'm going to blend that in just in a second. I'm not going to leave it like that. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, the white
Okay.
white pencil always does look really super bright, but you just blend it out a little bit and it does give you just that lightened kind of look.
Yes. Okay, you guys, this
Yay.
is the look. Here it is.
Hooray!
Got to give you my
That's so
Lauren
pretty.
Bacall
Yeah.
stare. Yep. Oh, from over here on the side.
There you go. Oh, that's so cute.
I
I love
really do
that.
like this a lot. I think I look completely different. Like I really do between the brows, the way the shadow is on my eyes. Everything just kind of has a different balance on my face with this look. But I really like it. What do you guys
Yeah,
think? Is this cool or what? I'm
I
happy with it.
really like
I
it.
think this is really beautiful.
And what were the three colors that you wore for this lip look? People are asking.
For this lip look, yes, oh, I look like I had a little lipstick on my teeth. Whoops. Um, I used Noir Red to do mostly just the bottom lip, the darkest line around the outside, and then it kind of into the corners. Actually, I did put it a little bit up here on the Cupid's bow too, just a tiny
Oh,
bit. Then I went over all the leftover space with cherry red. No, just kidding. It wasn't cherry red. It was blood red. It was blood red. So
uh,
noir red, then blood red. And then lastly, I used carmine just right here, right in the center.
oh,
That's carmine to give that little, and I kind of just like dab, dab, dab right in the middle to sort of give it that blocky shape, which is
uh-huh.
kind of what I saw in her lips was like a more of a like a rectangle of brightness in the center there.
Hmm.
So that's what I tried to do.
That's pretty. And yes, this versus the Audrey one, I mean, it's really a lot different. It's a really, really different look, but they're all so beautiful and cool. And I love it. It's so exciting. I get excited seeing these things. It is like a magic trick, like some
Me
people said
too.
for sure. Yay, that's
Yes,
beautiful.
absolutely.
Um, with carmine, excellent. And yeah, if you don't have carmine, any kind of lighter colored, lipstick for the center will also work. So a Besame red might work, or like even Mickey Mouse red if you have that. Something like that will work. But carmine is a really great highlight color. Carmine's like the surprise of the century to me, because that one I was like, I don't know, it's so orange,
Seriously.
and then I'm like, use it in other colors, use it by itself, use it the false. It's, it's a new top one for me
Yeah,
for sure.
totally. And at first I thought, oh, this is like just a summer color. But then when we used it in our statement lips for fall video, and I was like, you know what? Carmine is a statement lip for fall. It is pumpkin orange. It is a fall color now, officially. Summer and fall.
Officially.
Maybe all year round. Go for it. Wear it all the time. It's a cutie. It's a very cute color. Yeah. Or you can do it like this, where really brightened it up like a highlight in the center there.
Yeah. Cool. So my little twist of today was this that I used brown cake for a bunch of things. So I am wearing Fairest Red, which has nothing to do with brown cake, but this is Fairest Red. If you're curious about that, it's our new color. It's our new old color, a color from a previous collection that's just come back in stock. Then I actually used brown cake as contour. So I kind of painted it on and then just smudged it with my fingertip to try to get more cheekbones. And then I
Wow.
also just used, it always looks weird, but I used liner as brown, but also I just kind of painted it and also not smeared it, blended it with my fingertips for eyeshadow. And it got kind of a similar color. And then it's on my lashes as well.
Wow.
So brown cake all around. Oh, and also my brows. So that's the fun thing is you can have brows as dark as Janae's or even a little darker, or brows that are kind of lighter like mine today, even though they're pretty dark for me. I'm trying. I tried today with my little extra brows. So those are my little twists of the day for fun. So
Love it.
if you guys want some of these fun things to do your own, make your own Lauren Bacall look, or again for Halloween coming up to do all that kind of stuff. If you would like brown cake or black cake or the mascara brush set that has the spoolie and the liner brush, you can get any or all of those for 10% off with the code September Sept 2910. So sorry, it's SEP 10. Oh boy, 2910. I put it in the chat. Oh my goodness. Look at where it is instead of my words. I'm just teasing. SEP
Look at where it
2910. There we go. So that's where that is. So if you want to get that, that's good for 48 hours. And again, they're very versatile. Brown cake is super versatile. Black cake is wonderful for mascara and more dramatic kind of liner looks, and they're both a lot of fun. Do we want to give Thursday's video, if we had somebody ask, it'll be with Gabriella, and she's also going to be looking through some of her vintage makeup items again. So it won't be a specific collection based one this week, though we'll probably have those in the future. And do we want to tease Janae a little bit about our video next week of what we'll be doing for as we get into October? Is that okay? Or do you want to save it?
Oh, I don't know. Do you guys want to know? You probably want to
Yeah, do you
know
guys want
what's
to know
coming,
what
maybe.
next
Maybe a
week's?
little.
Now I feel like I'm
Yeah,
making it too exciting.
Amber. Give them
Okay.
a little hint, Amber.
Well, I'll just say that we're going to start with some Halloween looks next week. So next week will be a fun Halloween look, a simple kind of classic Halloween look. So we've got lots of yes, tell us. So it'll be a fun Halloween one. We probably won't be doing Halloween every week of October, but we will be doing it multiple weeks. And next week is our first one. So if you want a simple, cute, kind of
Yeah.
classic Halloween look, we're going to be doing that next week. So thank you so much, Janae. Great job. I
You're
mean, this is
welcome.
it's a
Thanks.
hard one, and you did such a good job. Totally stuff I've never heard
Thanks.
before, and I love it. Thank you all for watching our Tuesday squad with all of your comments and fun stuff. I love it always, and thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you again next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.